Morning YouTube, this is Debbie, and I thought we would just come on here and make us a card. This is the card we're going to be making today, and we're going to be using the Dragonfly Garden bundle. And my name is Deborah Gallagher. I'm a independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'll get that right in a minute. And I'm going to be using a couple of different techniques on this one today. Let me turn the sound off on my phone real quick. All right, now I'm going to be using the blending brushes. I do not have the Stampin' Up! Blending brushes. I had these before I became a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so this is what I'm using for now. I will be using the Mango Melody, the Pumpkin Pie, no wait a minute, that's not right, Cajun Craze, and Coastal Cabana. And I will be using the Dragonfly Garden Set. Now, some of these stamp pads are a little older than others, but that's okay. They work just fine. Actually, I like the old cases better, but they didn't ask me what I thought, so it's too bad because I really like those. Okay, I have, let's see, let me get the dimensions right, 4 by 5 1/4 white cardstock, and I'm going to need a something to keep from making oopsies. And I'm going to take my, let's see, which one to do first. I'm going to take my Mango Melody first. Is it Mango Melody? Yeah, Mango Melody. And you want to kind of tap him off on the side there before you start. Otherwise, you'll get you a big blob in the middle, and I don't always remember to do that, but it's a good idea to. And you want to turn it over and start from the other side, because you see you get a little darker on the edge there, and you want it to look the same on both sides. I like mine to, oopsie, just did what I said not to do. Now, I'm going to go in with my Cajun Craze. And these brushes, they're totally different from the daubers and the sponges. And I'm a big sponge fan. Do not get me wrong. I love my sponges. And you want to go up into that Mango Melody. With your ink. And then you're going to go back with your Cajun Craze into that Mango Melody, and then you're going to go back with your Mango Melody, and you're going to smooth it out. And I'm sticking. Why am I sticking? Then I'm going to go in with my Coastal Cabana. You want to make sure you don't grab a brush that you've already stuck in something else, because that will really mess up your ask me how I know. And then I'm going to go in and, you know, instead of just doing it in the middle of your ink pad, go up the sides and back and forth, because what that does is it squishes your ink out to the edges. And if you go down the sides and up the sides and across the top and bottom, you get more ink, and it doesn't leave your ink with a blank spot in the middle next time you go to stamp. Now you're going to take your Coastal Cabana and you're going to go down into that Mango Melody some. Which is going to make a little green there, but that's okay. Trust me, it's all going to work out in the end. And then I'm going to go back with my Mango Melody, and I'm going to go up into that Coastal Cabana a little bit and down into that. There you go. Now, let me put these away so we don't get an oopsie. I love doing oopsies. And I like to take a stack of, you know, you've always got that stack of paper from your printer, your misprints. I like to save those and staple them together, and then I have, then I've got my own little stamp pad there, and I just made an oopsie. Hang on. Not sure how I did it, but you want to know how to get that up? Hand sanitizer. Best thing in the world for getting that ink off. On your hands, however, you're going to have to go to the sink. But, okay, now, I am going to take out my bundle. And I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to need this one. I'm going to need this one. Hold on, let's see, what did I do in the middle? Okay, and this one. And you have two different dragonflies, and there's one of them I like better than the other, but that's just me being me. And then I'm going to need, did I use that one? I didn't use that one. Okay. We'll use him in a different video. Now I'm going to need, get my ink pads out. And if you will, if you will mount all of your stamps before you use them, a lot of people, the reason they don't like to stamp is because they don't like pulling this one off and putting it on their block and pulling that one off and putting it. And I was like that for years. And I was watching a YouTube, and this really brilliant lady said, just make sure you have plenty of blocks so you can put a block on each stamp. And you would not believe the difference that will make in your stamping. It's crazy how lazy you can be. Like these things. I know people that have to have enough of these for every color. Stampin' Up! Has about 50 colors, and 50 of these would be just so expensive. It's like, dude, take it to the kitchen and wash it out with soap and water. That's what I do. I just made a squishy on there. I pressed too hard. This is not a Stampin' Up! Block. I bought this at a craft store years ago, and I don't even know if they make them anymore. But I still use it. I don't have but 3 Stampin' Up! Blocks, and they're not the right size, so I would love to have all of the Stampin' Up! Stuff, and I am working on it. Let's see. Where's my scrap? There it is. I knew I cut a scrap. Okay, I'm going to take my scrap, and I'm going to put this to the side. And I'm going to take my dragonfly. I have to make sure that's thin paper. I did the rest of it on that heavy cardstock, and my punch won't punch through the heavy cards. I mean, it's heavy cardstock. Yeah, I'm going to take my punch from my dragonfly bundle, and I'm going to get this guy as straight as I can. And I'm going to get my light shaded spruce, my dark cinnamon cider, and my dark daffodil delight. Let me put those up before we have another oopsie. And let me find put a piece of paper under here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to take my cinnamon cider and I'm going to do his little body. You don't have to do that, but I like to. Then I'm going to take, I did that one backwards. Okay, I'm going to take my light shaded spruce. Now dragonflies come in all different colors. I've got a yard full of them. And I just love them. But I had a little dragonfly land on my window. And he came to see me every day. And he had little iridescent turquoise wings. I named him Lenny. And so for me, all dragonflies have to have those little turquoise wings because they're just so pretty. Now we're going to have to adapt them because I don't have the black marker to do the ends of his wings, so we're going to do those yellow. Lenny didn't have yellow wings. And you watch a lot of these YouTube showing you how to color with these other alcohol markers. And you gotta flick and you gotta have 4 of the same color in different shades. And I'm telling you, that is just not true. You know what? You can just color it in. You just do not have to do all that. I mean, if you want to learn how to do all that, that's great. But don't let those people intimidate you. Get you some markers and just color that bad boy in. They're a lot of fun to color, and you don't have to do all that. I'm gonna put a little curl on Lenny's wings here. I'm gonna give Lenny a couple of Stampin' Dimensionals, and Lenny is done. Okay. Now, I'm going to take my black piece of cardstock, which I cut 8.5 by, hold on, I will never remember that, 8.5, and I, by 5.5. Oopsie. And I scored it at 4 1/4. Of course, it's already scored, but I'm going to show you how I did it. And in order to get the cotton picking thing straight, which I was having issues with, I'm going to flip it over. Wait a minute. Okay, where am I? I can't remember how I did that now. Fiddlesticks. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to score it at 3.5. And that's how you score the base piece. Now I'm going to take Tombow and I'm going to get on my soapbox again. You do not have to slather this entire thing with glue. I know everybody likes to, but that wastes your glue and then you don't have enough money to buy stamps. Now, I am a big believer in saving money to buy the fun stuff. I'm going to take my bone folder. And you know what? That Tombo is not going to turn loose. I guarantee you. You get him to where you want him and he is staying put. And so there you have a little book fold. Isn't that cute? Now I know what you're saying. You're saying, you cut that piece too big. And you're right, I did. But what I'm going to do, oopsie, that's something sticky. I am going to cut this piece at, wait a minute, let me double check that. Three 3¼ I'm glad I double checked that. I was fixing to make a big old oopsie there. I'm gonna slide my, is that right? I hope so, because I did it. And I don't want to have to start the whole cotton picking process over again. I did make an oopsie, but I can fix it. I need to take just a sliver. That's the nice thing about stamping. You can always fix it. Let's see. Sticking in my, well, little sticks. I can fix that too. I love those little temporary. My daughter gave me those for Christmas. It's like Post-it note stickers. All right. Good as new. Perfect. Anything can be fixed if you want to. I know you can, it's bogged down in perfectionism, but this is, we're making cards and it's supposed to be fun. We cannot let our perfectionism paralyze us. And believe me, I understand that better than anybody, because I'm the world's champion at perfectionism. And I let it cripple me for years. I'm over it. That's the wonderful thing about getting old. You just don't care anymore. And you know what? I have never had somebody look at one of my cards and say, you cut that wrong and then you had to do it over. I show you how to make the mistakes so you don't, okay? Now I'm going to take and I'm going to put a little dab of glue in each corner. And this is like the size of glue, like the size of a pinhead. And I have found that if you don't slather the entire back of your project in glue, it doesn't buckle. I have a little card class out the retirement home, and we have more fun. We've been doing it for years, and the first time I went out there I took glue runners, and after that I took glue sticks, because man alive, they used an entire tape runner on 2 cards. And they will cover the entire back of that project in that glue stick. And I keep telling them, just put a little dab in each corner and them cards will buckle. But they love them that way and they have fun. So I don't even say anything. I'm just like, go ahead on, girl. And I'm going to put Liddy right here. And I am going to take... Oops, gonna need my cutter again. I keep forgetting. 3½. Is that right? Yeah. You know, the sad thing is I wrote this down on the back. I forgot to look. 3¼ Okay. jump the track. Okay. I'm going to cut the inside to 3 1/4. I'm going to take my inside sentiment. I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to take my dragonfly. And I'm going to stamp off. And then I'm going to put him right down here off the page in the corner. I'm going to ink my edges. That is a personal preference. Cards just don't look right to me unless the edges are inked. I see other people make beautiful cards without inking the edges, and you know, I just love them, but to me they just don't look done until mine don't look done until I've inked the edges. Come on, open up, and then I'm going to center my sentiment. I'm going to hold it down, and if you don't have inky fingers, you won't get all those ink spots like that. And I'll use this. I need a scrap of black. So I can get my little teeny tiny dragonfly. And I'm gonna stick him right up here. So this guy, Lenny needs a friend. And that's my card. Thanks for watching. God bless.